YouTube, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Look, you ever get that feeling that something huge is about to snap, but everybody else, they're half asleep? That's XRP right now. And if you think 2026 is going to look anything like today, you're out of your mind. Let's talk about where this is actually headed. Because the people calling XRP boring, they're missing the biggest transformation that's happening behind the scenes. They're watching price candles. Meanwhile, the entire financial infrastructure are quietly getting rewired, and it's all happening around XRP. And when that switch flips, you don't get a warning. It just happens. Now, before I dive in, hit that thumbs up button so more XRP holders see this. And if you want daily updates on the stuff that the mainstream doesn't even understand yet, hey, make sure you're subscribed. XRPrightnow.com, my free newsletter. Links down below. It drops the raw truth. Absolutely. Every single day. We pack it all in there. And if you want a one-on-one call, hey, the link's down below. Let's get into this thing. Here's what 2026 actually looks like for XRP. We're going to start with the biggest shift that nobody is prepared for. The CFTC, your regulated spot crypto trading. For the first time ever, Americans can buy and trade crypto under a full federal derivatives framework. Do you understand how big that is? This is what every major player has been waiting for. Clarity, custody, and now institutional guardrails. Not these offshore casinos, not a fly-by-night platform. Real US market structure. And guess who the CFTC has publicly aligned with on policy? If you guessed Ripple, get out that little bell, a little ding-a-ding-ding, you guessed right. Caroline Pham, the acting CFTC director, she didn't just meet with Ripple. She practically walked into their offices with a spotlight and said, "This is where compliance lives." Now I want you to stack that on top of what Ripple just formally announced. Ripple didn't buy G Treasury, everyone. They stepped directly into a $12.5 trillion in enterprise flows. Most people don't understand what that means. Most people, they don't get who G Treasury is, what G Treasury does. They just look at, say, oh, Ripple signed another partner or Ripple acquired another company and the price is going down. No, don't think of it like that. G Treasury is not your little fintech startup. G Treasury is the software that Treasury teams at over 1,000 plus multinational corporations, they use every single day. What do they use it for? It's very simple. They move payroll, cash, liquidity, supply chain funds across continents, folks, across continents, across different currencies, across hours when banks are closed. These are the people who actually move money in the world, not retail traders, not speculators. We're talking about treasury teams. And now XRP, it's being baked directly into that infrastructure, not as a speculative asset, as the plumbing, as the thing that runs quietly in the background while trillions of dollars are moving every year. That's the part nobody sees because it's invisible, right? It's not flashy. I get it. We want the flash. We want the lights. Treasury rails don't trend on Twitter, everyone, but they run everything. By 2026, XRP, it's not waiting for adoption. It is the adoption. It becomes a standard rail inside of G's Treasury's automation stack. And when that happens, its utility becomes continuous, not hype-based, not narrative-based, continuous. And it's all going on in the background. You don't even know what's happening. This is exactly what we've spoken about before. When you send an email, you don't care what happens in the background. You just care that your email is getting there. That is what XRP is being positioned to do for these treasury teams. It's just gonna work. It's gonna work in the background and you're not gonna even know it. Now, I want you to think about this. Think about what happens to price when you go from a speculative asset and now you move over to infrastructure. That's when you stop asking, when moon, When's the price going to go up? This is when you're going to start asking the question, how high can this go once these pipes run full? Now, let me connect all of this, right, to something that's far more explosive. A lot of people laughed in 2020 when stimulus checks hit. And crypto, well, it absolutely melted faces. If you were around, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've been here since 2017. I watched it happen firsthand. If you weren't around, let me explain to you what went down. Bitcoin was trading around 3,000, 3,500 bucks, right in that ballpark. Stimulus checks hit. We all remember them. Bitcoin went from that $3,000, $3,500 range all the way up to $69,000. Ethereum, it went from $80 to $4,800. Even your meme coins with zero utility, they went nuts as well. Think about that. From the stimulus checks. Why? Simple. Because trillions of dollars were sloshing around and people were stuck at home with stimulus money, burning holes in their pockets. They had to spend it. You know what happens when people got money in their pocket? They gotta spend it. It just burns that hole, folks. It happens to me and you every single day. Go look around your home. You probably got a lot of crap laying around. You're like, why did I buy that? Now let's fast forward. Trump's already signaled new stimulus, but this time it's different because it's tied to innovation and to economic expansion, not lockdown checks, pro-growth checks. And when that hits, you better get ready because crypto is going to react instantly. Except this time, the money isn't flowing into gambling altcoins. It's going to flow into assets with federal clarity, that have enterprise rails, that have regulatory alignment, and actual global use cases. If you think for 1 second that Trump's advisors, they aren't looking at crypto as the next engine of the US GDP, you're not paying attention. Ripple has been to the White House more than most people actually realize. More than that's just publicly put out there from Ripple's pictures and the PR that they got going around with it, right? They didn't just meet one time, they didn't just meet 2 times. They met a handful of times. They've been in and out of DC for years, laying the foundation for US dominance in digital assets. Now look, you don't meet with the Fed, the US Treasury, the IMF, the BIS, and now the CFTC unless you are part of the plan. People say, well, XRP hasn't moved in 7 years. Cool, man. That's great. I get it. I've been here this whole time. But you know what we call that? That's called a coil. That's what a slingshot looks like. Right before that rubber band snaps. Price doesn't trend sideways for a decade unless something enormous is loading beneath the surface. I hope you understand that. My 2026 or in 2026 is the better way to put this, right? That coil's done. It's finished. All of your catalysts, they're gonna stack at once. That's exactly what Ripple has been waiting for. Your CFTC regulated spot trading, your treasury system integration, your G Treasury's $12.5 trillion flows, RLUSD settlement expansion, Middle East adoption, US liquidity finally returning, stimulus checks, plus pro-crypto White House, Asia, and the EU stablecoin, competition forcing the US to speed, more ETF filings, exchange consolidations, and banking rails going blockchain native. You tell me what happens when trillions of enterprise liquidity meet a regulated, cleared asset with real throughput capacity. We're heading towards a moment where the real world turns around and says, how was all of this sitting under an all-time high price and coiled up into this massive region for so long? And I keep saying this. Most XRP holders, they have no idea what they're actually holding. They think they're holding a coin. You're holding a piece of the new plumbing for global money. Think about the price impact when XRP stops being seen as a crypto and starts actually being seen as infrastructure. Think about this. Look what happened to AWS, right? Everyone knows AWS. In the beginning, it was just hosting. No one gave 2 craps. 10 years later, though, it has become the backbone of the entire internet. And the valuation, it followed. XRP is going through the same exact shift, except infrastructure for money, it grows way faster than infrastructure for websites does, right? Now picture 2026. Picture this with me. XRP is in US derivatives markets. XRP is settling RLUSD flows in the Middle East. XRP is sitting inside G Treasury silently, moving billions of dollars every day. XRP ETFs are pulling in anywhere from $50 to $100 million per day in daily volume. Banks are using it because it's faster, cheaper, and the rails already exist. What do you think price looks like in that world? Comment below. I want to know, what do you think the price is going to look like? No guarantees, but here's what I'll say. When utility goes vertical, price follows violently. I'm not here to give numbers because whatever I say, XRP is probably going to blow past it. But that 2017 style move that we saw, that's a joke compared to what institutional rails can do. Remember, XRP moved in 2017 the way it moved in that blow off top that you experienced in that November to January timeframe was all because of a rumored Coinbase listing. That was it. That's all it was. And if you're bearish on this thing, explain to me why the most regulated, aligned, enterprise integrated, White House connected asset in the space is suddenly the one that is being positioned to run 24/7 liquidity across continents. Explain to me why every major US regulator keeps circling Ripple. Explain why the companies moving trillions are now plugged directly into Ripple's stack. Would you fade a pipeline handling global liquidity? I didn't think so. Before I wrap this up, if you want ongoing updates like this, not hype, not memes, actual real world developments, I created the website XRPrightnow.com. Your one and only source for all your Ripple and XRP news. It's free. You get 15 to 25 articles per day. You'll never miss a development. Join the free newsletter. The link's down below. You'll get the real story, folks. And it's going to get even crazier in that newsletter as we enter 2026. And if you want a one-on-one call where me and you, like this, can sit down, break down your XRP strategy, your long-term plan, or your crypto allocation, hey, the link's down below. We'll get you set up right. Hit that like button for me so more XRP holders wake up to this. Drop a comment on where do you think XRP is headed in 2026. And I want you to do me a favor. Share this video with someone who still thinks crypto's dead. Because by the time they realize what Ripple has actually built, it's going to be way too late, folks. Way too late. 2026 is the year XRP stops being a bet and it becomes the backbone. And I hope you're ready. And I hope you're going to be on this roller coaster with me the whole way. I'll see all y'all on the next one.